Where Are They Now? With your host, Dianne Hart. Now here's Dianne.
Good evening. Welcome to Where Are They Now? I'm your host, Dianne Hart, and tonight I have the pleasure of interviewing a singer, songwriter, producer, musician, and entrepreneur in the music industry, Mr. Larry Yates. How are you tonight?
I tell everybody I'm great, but it'll get better. And let me start off by saying that I am just so honored to be speaking with you. I love what you are doing, and this is a wonderful world we're living in where you can claim your voice, and you're claiming your voice, and then bringing the many of us into the fold. And I just want to start by thanking you for that.
My pleasure. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to interview you. So let's get started. Where are you from?
I am from a little small town in the Delta, Mississippi called Grenada, Mississippi. And for those that don't know where that is, it's like halfway between Memphis, Tennessee, Jackson, Mississippi, and then you have the Delta, Greenwood, Greenville. So I'm from the Delta. B.B. King, Robert Johnson, all of the great blues guys. I'm from that. Yeah, I'm from that order.
What school did you attend?
Now, that is a long question. I'm one of those high school dropouts, but I have a degree in psychology. I studied in Princeton and Villanova in psychology. I am a certified, ICF certified, that's supposed to be the gold standard of life coaching and certification. That, and I have certificate from UCLA, USC in cardiology. I am actually a cardiology specialist where I can do EKG interpretation, stress tests, and heart monitors, and cardiology pharmacology that I help people with music. But that's more of a passion outside of the music. But it's a passion of being a participant in helping people in times of needs, and it's beyond or different than the music industry. So those are my schoolings.
You have lots of them, right? You have a lot of expertise.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that because there's more, but read the book.
You have a book out? Okay.
Yeah, I wrote and illustrated 2 children books, The Greedy Mouth and Upset Stomach, a debate between the mouth and stomach what the food should eat, addressing childhood obesity. And I got letters from Michelle Obama in the White House for that. My other children book is Greedy Mouth and Achy Tooth, about these 3 best friends, tooth, tongue, and gum, and how food come between them. I've been writing books and stuff, so I'm coming out with a autobiography that I've finished.
I've been trying, but I haven't quite accomplished it yet. I got started with the ghostwriter. I just can't seem to get it.
You know what? You and I are going to talk about that because I'm not going to listen to you say you haven't gotten it. And
I haven't completed my book yet, but I've been working on it. So I've read a lot of things about you, and I understand that you are a singer and that you're a songwriter, producer, musician, and you're an entrepreneur. Which one of those came first?
I grew up with a family of musicians, so I grew up as a bass player.
Okay.
My father was in gospel music, my uncles in music, and my brothers and a whole bit. So I would have to say it all started with being a musician and a bass player. And as a bass player, that took me to California.
How old were you when you got started?
I don't remember when I picked up a guitar for the first time because there was always guitars around me. And I think my dad may have spanked me a couple of times with a guitar string. But the earliest I started to feel it, I would say 13, 14 years old when I really started to fall in love with playing the bass guitar. That ignited the dream of the possibility.
Did you play at church?
No, my dad failed at getting me to play in church, but I did play church music to follow him to learn how to play. Mm-hmm. But I was one of the guys that was looking at the funk bands, and, like at that time, my God, I'm dating myself, but you're talking about the James Brown. And I came into the music industry learning the music during the funk era. Mm-hmm. Coming up in Mississippi, everybody wanted to be a guitar player. And so everybody wanted to be a blues guitar player. And bands was just saturated with everybody playing guitar. There were so many guitar players that was so much better than me. I said, let me pick up the bass guitar. And so I picked up the bass guitar, and according to my community, that I excelled at a bass player. And I became, according to other reports, that I was really good at being a bass player.
What other musicians influenced your bass playing?
The whole funk era, the Barcades, Earth, Wind and Fire, Funk Shun, all of those groups pulled me in as a bass player, and because they pronounced the bass in their music. There were so many in the South. You had Tyrone Davis and those guys, not quite blues, but what is called Southern Soul. I was not into that necessarily. But then when groups like, being a little bit repetitive here, Funk Shun, the Barcades and Ohio Players and all of those guys. And by the way, I got to meet and work with some of these guys. Those are the type of groups that made it okay to be out front. And then Larry Graham was the bass player, and Louis Johnson from the Brother Johnson, all of those guys. You know, coming up in the 70s, the bass became a very out front instrument, where before that, during the Motown era, the bass was pronounced, but it was more smooth, more laid back. Then these guys come along, then the bass guitar became aggressive. We all wanted to be seen on stage. You know, we wanted to show off. And before that, it was the singer, the drummer, and sometimes the keyboard player. And then the bass guy is sitting back in the back and crying with tears. And when I will get my chance, we don't get my chance. And then those funk groups came out. Oh my goodness, the bass now I have an opportunity. The group Slave, that group changed my life as a bass player. My whole world changed as a bass player from that group. Then Cameo came out, you know, all of those funk groups, and I just fell in love.
Wow, that's absolutely awesome. Let's talk a little bit about some of those people that you played with, and then we're going to listen to some of your music.
You know what's so funny about the bass got me into the game, but I didn't play with as many guys as I wanted to play with. They brought me in as consultant. They brought me in as management of companies. I managed their companies, their product, their manufacturing, their distribution, their marketing, all the way down to being in the studio, consulting them on how to mix a record and a whole bit. But playing live, I didn't play with a lot of these guys. I wished I had back then, but you know, life played it out. But it was the bass guitar that brought me to their attention. But once I wanted to play with these guys, and come to find out, they wanted something a little bit different from me. And I'm like, oh no, I want to play. Yeah, you're a great bass player, but you have something else, but I want to play. No, Larry, let the musician be the musician. I'm like, oh God.
And you'll be the businessman.
Yeah, because sometimes we take for granted that the knowledge, no matter what you believe in a higher power, God, Jesus, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes it leads you in a direction that you are not necessarily prepared for or want to go in. And going back to what we were talking about a little bit off the air, sometimes people see something in you that you don't see in yourself. And for some reason, everybody saw me as this person that understood the music industry. And that's where I ended up doing marketing projects on the Barcades and sitting with those guys and on and on and on. So,
well, we're going to take a break and we're going to listen to your song, I'm So in Awe of You.
Each night, I close my eyes. I ask the Lord, are you real or are you a fantasy? So in awe of you. You take my breath away. I'm so in love with you. You blow my mind away. So in awe of you. You take my breath away. I'm so in love with you. I love you more every day. You step out of my dreams. Such beauty I've never seen. You're mesmerized and smile. Got my emotions going wild. I had to get to know you. I had to step up to you. Watch you sparkle and glitter.
Sparkle like a star.
to Where Are They Now? I'm your host, Dianne Hart, and my special guest this evening is Mr. Larry Yates. What a bad jam that song is. What inspired I'm So in Awe of You?
Women. When I say this, I mean is essence of my spirit. No nation can rise no higher than we elevate women. This is no criticism on any other writers out there. Everybody plays a part in this. I wanted to honor the beauty, the spirit of women in this song. We are all product of the closest thing to God as we can get, which is a woman, our mothers. And I'm okay with talking about defined butts, and I'm okay with talking about who did what in bed and all of that. That I'm not criticizing that. So please, artists, don't think that I'm criticizing that. And I tell you something real quick. I actually had people to say, well, man, women are not going to want to hear a song like that. Really? I truly had people to say, well, you're wasting your time putting a song out talking about how beautiful the woman is. She stepped out of your dreams and the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And I had to step up to you. And I actually had people to sit me down and say, man, well, you're wasting your time on that. But I cannot, and I'll never believe that women don't want to hear something that has a beautiful sense of honoring women in this song. And that's what inspired me. I had a young girl, about 13, and she was listening to some of these songs and she was wiggling this and wiggling that and wiggling that. And now I know I'm going to go to market with a song. I'm not criticizing that. But I asked myself, well, what if I gave her something that she could sit down and see that we as African-American men do honor you, do love you, that we are in awe of you. You can be in awe of your child. You can be in awe of your mom, your dad. I heard as a child that we don't see the person oftentimes because we can't get past their flesh, and that means we can't get past their mistakes. But when they are gone, we can be in awe of the experience that we've had with them. You can be in awe of your dog. And that's what inspired me. Mainly women inspired this.
It's a beautiful song. Women should be happy to have somebody to write such wonderful words about them.
I've been getting all kind of phone calls. One of the best response I've gotten from it is someone sent me their wedding with the song.
Oh.
And her fiance chose the song, and they got married with that song. Wow. And that's one of the greatest blessings right there.
Well, when I get married, I need you to come sing that song at my wedding.
I'm there.
Do you write for others?
During the Leon Haywood era, I was with Leon Haywood. People don't remember Leon Haywood back in the 60s and 70s. He had I Want to Do Something Freaky to You.
I remember the song.
And Don't Push It, Don't Force It, and She's a Bad Mama Jama with Carl Carlton. Well, I was right there with the whole bit. I helped participate in the language of the songs, and a lot of the product that came out of Evening Record with blues products from Buddy Ace to Little Joe Blue, Toddy T, the Battle Ram back in the days. I'm dating myself, so I helped write those songs. I was more of a consultant when I was around Quincy and James Ingram and those guys like that. I never wanted to really write songs for people. You know, the music industry is a strange thing. The industry will box you in and they'll say, well, stay in your lane. You know, so like you can help someone go from scratching their jaw and on your sofa to walking across the stage and picking up a Grammy. I've been so fortunate to see that. And then I got to the point and said, you know, I feel God has blessed me. And that's how I started to write for myself.
Do you have any new music that you're writing?
Oh, yes. I have a really good relationship with radio stations and online people around the country, around the world. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just going to step out there for the next couple of years if I'm blessed with good health. And I'm actually in the studio right now preparing for product to be released in the market for the first of the year.
Any Southern Soul?
That is what I have totally put my foot in. Southern Soul. That's I'm going all the way into Southern Soul. I've received such phenomenal response dipping into Southern Soul. I so appreciate it because I've been in pop. I worked with Tupac Shakur. I actually helped put together on the album Tupac in His Own Words. That album, I put 2 songs on that album, Be the Realist and Stop the Gunfight. I was one of the distributors and marketers for No Limits Records with Master P. I worked with Marvin Gaye. I worked with James Ingram. I worked with Smokey Robinson and Lamont Dozier. I got nominated for a Grammy with Lamont Dozier. The song Deeper, Johnny Gil was on my album, on my R&B album. I produced the movie, if you look it up, Unconditional Love, produced and on the soundtrack to that. And the star song on that was Deeper by Johnny Gil. And I say all of that to say I've traveled around the world with these guys. I didn't see Southern Soul. And now that a few people has slapped me upside the head and said, take a look at Southern Soul. It's like going back home. I'm getting such wonderful support. I'm in the studio right now and I'm going to be releasing quite a bit, hopefully.
So are you going to tour once you release your music?
I turned down a couple of shows this summer because I wasn't ready for stage. I haven't performed in so long. The opportunity came to me. It scared the heck out of me. No, let me get someone else. And no, Larry, you. I'm preparing.
Okay.
My producers and stuff, they're beating me upside the head and, helping me to get a show together. And yeah, so hopefully next year I will accept some of the invitations to do some shows. Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm going to be looking forward to your album coming out. You say it'll come out in January?
Yes. So we're going to be dropping some new music the first quarter of the year.
First quarter of the new year.
Yeah.
So it may not be January, February, March.
May not be January.
That's the first quarter.
Yeah, okay. I'm fluent in ASL sign language. This is very true. I'm fluent in ASL sign language, and my producer is looking at me and I got him doing sign language now. So he was like, "Shut up! No, not January." Okay.
But sometime in the first quarter of the new year. Okay. Well,
yes.
I'll have to make sure that you come back once you drop that. So we're going to take another break, and then we're going to listen to a song that you wrote. God Bless Me With You.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You're welcome. We're going to listen to that and we will be right back.
I just want to take this moment in time to tell you how much you truly mean to me. You see, I've seen some hard times, some rainy, cloudy days, but through the storms, there you were, lovely as a sunset on an ocean view. Your smile gives me starlight. God bless me with you. Oh, yes, he did. I'm blessed and highly favored, and I love you. I feel like dust, trapped in a whirlwind. The way you love blows me away. Lovely as a sunset on an ocean view. Your smile gives me starlight. God bless me with you. Oh, yes, he did. Blessed and highly favored, and I love you. And I'm so grateful. I'm blessed and highly favored, and I love you. Sometimes I ask myself, what did I do to deserve someone so special like you? You see, it's your compassion, your love and understanding. When I make a mistake, it's your warm embrace that makes me feel safe and
Welcome Welcome back to Where Are They Now? I'm your host, Dianne Hart, and my special guest tonight is Mr. Larry Yates. You wrote that song, so now tell me a little bit about what inspired that song.
The song started out about people that have shown me that they were there for me, and mainly women, black women. That song was basically rooted in all black women, that I feel that we as African American men are so incredibly blessed that we came from the womb of the black woman. And during the writing and producing of this song, the total support of my life, which was my brother, Bobby Yates, passed away. I'm still not quite back, and I reached out to him because he was such a beautiful singer. He's such a beautiful human being. And so this was my chance to work with my brother. Coming back from California, going back to Mississippi, I'm going to work with my brother. We're going to retire. I'm going to write and produce songs on him. And then the song morphed into me celebrating my brother Bobby at the same time. When you look at the lyrics of the song, so much of it is about the blessings that God has given me or has shown me and all of us, but it's up to the individual to see it. My mother, my sister, my cousin, the little old lady down the street, the sisters that would get together to cook in church. God blessed me with them because they prepared these meals out of spirit. And you know something? It doesn't matter what one believes in or not. Those black women, prayers is what got us here. I'm not saying the black men, prayer didn't get us here. So brothers, I'm not putting you, I'm not ignoring you here. Look, right now, I got to give it up to the sisters, and having the right women around me and in my life inspired me to do the song, God Bless Me With You. And I mean that to the essence of my soul.
So are you married?
No, I haven't found anyone that will put up with me. And then if I found someone that would put up with me, I wouldn't trust them because why are you putting up with me? I'm kidding.
You have children?
I have 2 wonderful children, and they are all married off, and I have 2 grandkids.
Anybody else in the business?
No, I beg them, please don't go down this road. They had other interests, and what I did, I left the door open for them. I feel that you have to let your children make a decision where they want to go, because if you make the decision for them and it does not go right, they can legitimately blame you. But if you let them make the decision, then the responsibility is on them to achieve or not.
What social media platforms can your fans find you on?
They're finding me on Facebook. Right now, it's just kind of a one-horse town, just directing everybody to the same medium, and YouTube. The music can be found on Apple, iTunes, anywhere you can get digital music, you can find those songs on there. For now, it's under the name Larry Yates.
If you're like me, you know, we're not necessarily in that space where we have all of those channels, right? Twitter and Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and I mean, there's just so many platforms, everything.
For right now, we're just basically functioning on Facebook for now.
Well, I'd like to ask you if you could just give some bits of nuggets to up-and-coming individuals who aspire to be anywhere near where you are, because you are phenomenal.
The greatest advice I could give to anyone, find your own voice. Be who you are, and don't let anyone, the world, define who you are or what you should do and what you should be. And I would tell people, working with the greats like Smokey Robinson, Lamont Dozier, and James Ingram was my best friend. He was my brother. And working with Quincy and traveling around the world, and everybody said, well, Larry, you must have been very talented. No, there were so many people around me was so much more knowledgeable of music and the industry and business than I. But the one thing that I had that most people didn't have, they trust me. And when you know who you are and you follow the path of your inner guidance, then you will learn or gain trust in people. And that is what this industry at the highest level is missing. Don't ever think just because you're good at music or singing or playing. I know many of them never made it through the front door because they weren't trustworthy.
Wow.
The more you go within yourself and understanding a higher level of consciousness, know that you deserve it.
Right.
You got to know you deserve it, because so many of them get on stage, so many of them get hit records, and you don't see it being in the audience, but then they're on stage doubting themselves, asking themselves, do I really deserve this? And I want to say to you young people, you middle-aged people, you older people, you damn right you deserve it. But know who you are. Get it.
Say, go get it.
Go get it.
I just want to thank you again for this awesome interview, to just listen to you, hear all of the things that you've done and the places you've been and the people that you've surrounded yourself with. You've truly been blessed, no question about that.
I've been so fortunate. The one thing I want to say that everybody that I've been around speak nicely of me. That doesn't mean I'm perfect. They speak kind of nicely of me. And I will say to any of you out there, it's not too late to be kind and nice and help people. That is how you get there. You can invest in a building, but the value can decrease or grow. But when you invest in human beings, invest in people, that's where your wealth is. It is never in the bank.
Wow. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity. They should really, really take heed, because there's nothing at all wrong with being nice and kind and respectful to others. And I get that. I just want to say, may you continue to flourish and do great things.
Thank you so much for inviting me into your space, and God bless you.
Thank you. You're absolutely welcome. Now listen, you all, you can watch me every Wednesday night on Roku, on the Lit TV network, and my show is The Opening Statement. You can also watch me every Thursday night at 7:30 on Detroit Hot TV on Facebook. Don't forget to go to YouTube, like and subscribe, and hit the bell, so every time I put up a video, you'll see it. So I want to thank you all for watching. I love you all. Bye-bye.